Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. I've already talked about how I think Oregon should beat Colorado. Should. Now, to all you fans out there, I'm not taking any bets. I'm not that crazy. Because Colorado is a decent team. If Colorado were to win this game, I'm going to talk about how they would win it. Number one, you got to slow that offense down. Slow down. They like to operate fast, high tempo. They're not exactly a slow offense. I think they need to consume the clock as much as possible. I do think that their offense is good enough to score touchdowns against Oregon. If they could get at least 30 points in this game, or even a few field goals and like 3 touchdowns, minimum of 27 points, they could win this game. And I'll explain why. Because if you score every time you have the ball, or most of the time you have the ball, and you're eating up clock while doing it, you're keeping Oregon's offense off the field. You're keeping Oregon's defense on the field. And I know that Colorado has the receiver unit, the tight ends, they have the quarterback to put up points and move the ball down the field. Think about it. When you're able to throw the ball downfield successfully, that opens up the running game some. While I don't think Colorado's going to run all over Oregon, if you can get somewhere between, like you've been getting like 40, 50 yards, whatever it was, for most of your games running the ball, maybe use Sanders as on a quarterback draw, quarterback keeper, or an option play or something like that, and move the ball. That's big. That's big. Third down offense, you have to continue to convert more than half the time on third downs. And another thing for offense, you cannot get the slow starts. Start off slow in this game. If you want to upset the number 10 team in the country, you've got to start fast. You've got to control your tempo. You've got to keep the ball on the field and away from Oregon. Okay? Defensively, I know their defense is undersized up front, but their secondary players, even without Travis Hunter, is still pretty darn good. I don't think they're better than Oregon's receivers, but they're good enough to slow down Oregon's offense and hold them to a bunch of field goals in this game. I do think they're good enough to do that. They do play hard. They're a physical team. They're well coached. You don't see any roughing the passer penalties, like dumb penalties, holding penalties, anything crazy from Colorado. So that'll help them in this game. I do think, however, Colorado's defense is good enough to hold Oregon to at least 30, somewhere between 24 and 30 points. Now, if Colorado wins this game, it's going to be a close game. Their defense is going to have to get a few takeaways in this game. At least 2 turnovers, and they're going to have to force at least 2 or 3 punts, therefore keeping their offense with the ball most of the game and having their way. So if Colorado can do that, they definitely can win this game, realistically. Again, I'm an Oregon fan. I did pick Oregon to win this game. On paper, Oregon should beat this team. But as you all know, things don't always work out that way. That's why we love college football. So if Colorado can eat up clock, control time of possession, convert third down, you can throw the football around and still run the ball. Because once you start passing the ball out, Oregon's going to play a lot of man-to-man coverage and a lot of zone coverage. So they're going to look to slow down their best weapon on offense, Shedeur Sanders. But that means you're going to have at least 2 or 3 guys to worry about up front. They're not going to put a lot of guys in the box. Therefore, it'll open up the running game some. And again, you don't need to be a superstar to run the ball. You just need to be able to gain some yards here and there and make Oregon's defense respect you. And then once Oregon loads the box, then you start doing play action, slants, screen passes, post routes, crossing routes. Then you can open up doing that and have your way. And again, Colorado, one thing I love about Colorado, they don't get many penalties on either side of the ball. And most importantly, don't turn the ball over and give Oregon a gift. Look, if Texas Tech, who's 1-2, can play with Oregon, Colorado should be able to have a chance. They have a good chance to win this game. It's not a good chance because I think Oregon's just a better football team, but they're a good team. If they play their best and Oregon shows up and doesn't play their best, it can be trouble. So definitely that's how I can see Oregon losing this game. Somewhere between a score prediction for this game if Colorado wins, 30-24, 30-27. Oh, you also need to block some kicks in this game, which is very possible. Well, yeah, it's very possible to beat this team.